Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to this video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be continuing our 3-game match reviews now. In today's video, of course, same conditions apply as yesterday's. Still not feeling 100%, but have woken up this morning and I'm feeling so much better. I've really turned the corner, so almost out of COVID. But yeah, just about done, so that's really good. This is probably going to be the last video where I'll sound sick as well, so that's good to know. Now, for our match reviews today, we're going to be going over Fremantle vs Carlton, North Melbourne vs Geelong, and Gold Coast vs Brisbane. So there probably won't be an excited voice today, but again, that's just what's going to have to happen. But don't worry, it'll be back in the coming days for some more exciting videos. But anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead, get right into things, starting with Freo versus Carlton. Alright, so here we are for Fremantle versus Carlton. Now, this game was going to be quite interesting, at least I thought it was. Fremantle 14-13-97 defeat the Blues 9-8-62. It's been a little bit of a trend with the Blues lately. They just haven't been able to put up a complete performance, and it was the same this time. The Dockers, there's one thing that is making them the team they are right now. So the Blues started off quite strong early, actually. They led at quarter time. And then the second quarter, you could just see, look at that. Freo get 6 goals to the Blues getting 2. Again, they just have another little bit of a staircase in quarter number 3 before finishing it off in quarter 4. But the thing that has made Freo the team they are is this staircase right here, where they can go back, kick 5-6 goals in a row. That is what changes the game for me for Freo. That is how they are winning their games. They had a close game with the Bombers and they had their big staircase against the Giants, had their big staircase. So that's what's winning them games. Otherwise, they could have potentially lost against the Bombers, the Giants and the Blues. But that staircase right there, consistent goals, is definitely what seals the deal. Second quarter was all Fremantle, and that's where they won the game, and it didn't really change by there. It's pretty much basically a 20 to 30 point margin for the rest of the contest. 36 disposals for Sam Walsh, 3 goals for Lachie Schultz, Rory Lobb, Patrick Cripps, 8 tackles for Andrew Brayshaw and George Hewitt, 123 fantasy for Patrick Cripps. But again, the Blues, they've just looked different the past few weeks. Not what we saw at the start of the year. 121 fantasy for Doherty, 120 for Schultz, 117 for Walsh, 116 for Brayshaw, 115 for Hewitt, 107 for Chera. Chera, of course, playing up against his former team, 99 for Akers, who kicked a stunning goal of the year contender as well. 2 goals for Sukowski, Kerno and Walters. Disposals, we'll have a look at that. 32 for Chera, 32 for Doherty, 32 for Cripps, 30 for Hewitt. They're leading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ball getters on the ground for Carlton, and they still don't manufacture the win. And then Brody, Brayshaw, Sarong and Ryan getting plenty of the ball for the Dockers. We have a look at marks. 13 for Wiedering, 12 for Cox, 11 for Schultz, 10 for Ryan and Young, 9 for Clark. Those are some big numbers there as well. Tackles, 8 for Brayshaw, Hewitt. No one else really stood out. 5 for the following: Cripps, Chera, Mundy, Walters and Schultz. Hitouts, we got Lobb with the 26 and 24 for Darcy, 15 for De Koning, only the 1 for Pitternet, and 1 for Cripps and 1 for Mackay. Now, if we have a look at some team stats, we have got the Dockers went inside 50 way more than the Blues, which allows more scoring shots. Hitouts dominated by Freo. But yeah, here are just some stats. But yeah, the Dockers, that they are looking really, really good right now. I feel like they are. Now, you could say they haven't really had too many hard games, which is definitely fair enough because they come later on. Big battle in round 7 with the Cats, but geez, they've sent an early start, the Dockers, and they're looking really good. Now, most of us probably did think this game was going to be quite a boring game. North could have definitely come out and taken this one out, but again, the favour was definitely in hand of the Cats. North Melbourne 9-7-61 were defeated by the Cats 17-19, 121. The Cats win by 60, or in other words, 10 goals, and the Roos are definitely in some trouble after this performance. Again, the Roos have been a side that has been extremely inconsistent this year, and their win over West Coast, wind the clock back, wasn't that great against a team with waffle players pretty much. So that they haven't been a great team this year. They were in at a quarter time, and just from there, like 1 goal, 2 goals, 4 goals, 5. They had 29 at three-quarter time, and it's a bit like a West Coast at the moment as well. These two teams are quite evenly placed, I'd say. But the Roos, they just didn't even have a quarter where they were fine. The last quarter, they got the most goals for the game. They got an extra 4, but the Cats, they are just so good right now. You got, like, Jeremy Cameron. All those players are just on fire. And they're such a good unit, the Cats. They've got experienced players, and they do it year by year. And this year they're doing really well. So big congratulations to the Cats. And this was a big win that was definitely well deserved. 7 goals for Jeremy Cameron, 8 tackles for Joel Selwood, Brandon Parfitt, 125 fancy for Zach Tui, 32 disposals for Zach Tui. It was going to be Cat dominance anyway. The Roos didn't really have a lot of players that would have stood out in this smashing of a contest. Stanley, 37 hitouts, 19 for Tristan Zeri, 14 for Goldstein, 7 for Blitzov, 2 for Hawkins. But this wasn't a great game for the Roos. Look at that. Look at that. 125 fantasy for Tui, 118 for Cameron, 107 for Guthrie, 106 for Selwood, 102 for Smith, 96 for Stewart, 92 for Stanley and Hawkins. It was just a day out for the Cats, you'll see. Look at goals behind. 7 for Cameron, 4 more for Hawkins, 2 for Stengel, 3 for Zerha. Disposals, it'll probably be lots of Cats. 28 for Guthrie, 25 for Smith, and 24 for Selwood. There was plenty of players on the ground that got plenty for the Cats tackles. 7 more for Sean Higgins, Marks, 9 for Mackay and Stewart, and Tui and Cameron, and then 8 for Duncan. It was just a really good game for the Cats, who are right now looking in a really good place. They went inside 50 way more times than the Roos. They were actually quite inaccurate, so they could have won this game by more suggested scores. Clearances were actually in favour of North Melbourne, so they must have just been bombing it in, and the Cats' defence is pretty good, is very good, so then they can get some good transition going and get it. 17 marks inside 50. That just shows a bit of sloppy defence by the Kangaroos. And the Cats forward line, like, you got Hawkins, you got Jeremy Cameron, and then, like, you can't forget about players like Brian Myers, Close, Stengel, that are ready to crumb the ground ball. North never led. This was just a Cat demolition. They were so good, and they have a big win, and that really does prove a very good point for the Cats, that after their loss against the Hawks, they are still firing, and they are looking very good. So now to the final game of this round review. We've got the Suns and the Lions. Gold Coast 11-14-80 were defeated by Brisbane 21-6, 132. So the Lions, they were right. They just came and played really well. They showed no real sign of ever giving up that lead. Quarter time, it could have gone either way, but again, the Lions, they had a decent lead. Basically doubled Gold Coast score in the first term. Second term was pretty much, about a 20-point margin. Third term was 35, and then final term, it just blew out to be a 50-52. So the Lions, they were just so good. They just blew it away. Bailey was fantastic with a career high 6 goals, 128 fancy for Lions, 10 tackles for Lions, 33 disposals for Noah Anderson. But the Lions, they are a very good team. Definitely top 4 contenders. I feel like they will be in the top 4. They've been really strong this year. They got a brilliant list. They could definitely be in premiership contention as well. We'll have a look at marks. 9 for Ballard, 8 for Ainsworth, and Coleman. We'll have a look at the tackles. 10 for Lions, 9 for McCluggage, 8 for Miller. Hitouts, 48 for Witts, 24 for Fort, 17 for McInerney, 7 for Troll. We'll go to disposals. 30 for Lions, again fantastic. 27 for Sawallo, 26 for Miller and Rich, 25 for Lockie Neal, and then 24 for Rao. He does get plenty of the footy as well. goals behind. Six straight for Bailey, 4 straight for Cameron, 3 for Danaher. And then Casbolt and Holman do also get 3 as well. But 6 for Bailey, that's just fantastic. And then 118 fantasy for Noah Anderson, 112 for Ainsworth, 111 for Miller, 110 for McCarthy. So, again, the Lions, they are a really good side. Really hard to beat side as well. But this, I did have a feeling that it was definitely going to go some way like this as well, perhaps. Clearances did go in favour of Gold Coast, but centre clearances went in favour of the Lions. And the Lions are just such a classy team. They are probably one of the hardest teams to beat in the competition, apart from Melbourne. They are really good, got a brilliant forward line. And, yeah, Gold Coast, they weren't really going to compete. You can see the Lions led the entire time. But, yeah, Gold Coast just weren't going to compete. They did play. They still managed to do a decent score of 80. But the Lions, they're just way too strong. They're looking really good right now in some great touch. So, again, I can't show the ladder due to another game being played, of course, last night. Richmond versus Melbourne. Now, that's for next match review. We're not going to go ahead and get into that now. But Fremantle 97 defeated Carlton 62. North Melbourne 61 defeated Geelong 121. And then Gold Coast 80 lost to Brisbane 132. And North Melbourne 61 lost to the Cats 121. Here's what we had at the start of the round. The Saints got over the Giants. The Crows got over the Bulldogs. Big upset. The Power get their first win, beating the Eagles by 84. And then, of course, that is what we just had in today's match review. So we've got the Anzac match review coming up very soon on the channel. Of course, with the Richmond versus Melbourne game, the Essendon versus Collingwood, and Hawthorn versus Sydney. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe me. Hit that notification bell so then you guys will never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This is bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.